You're listening to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Fortyfive.
Smitty, Smith Shot Racing.
It's your boy Track Star.
And my name is TJ with 2 L's and coffee.
What's going on, everyone, man? How's it going, man? It's been crazy down here for me. My my first year down here in Florida, we're dealing with hurricanes and stuff like that. So having no internet and no power is not fun, but it's nice to be able to connect with the rest of the world again. So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. Down here, weather's good. Little chill came by. I like it, so enjoying things right now. So.
Yeah, well, I'm good too. Sending my thoughts and prayers to everyone out there in Florida, struggling with this hurricane that's been tearing it up out there. But I'm glad to hear that a lot of people weren't as badly affected as others. But definitely, my thoughts and prayer with those who were affected, and I hope that everyone gets through that.
Yeah, everything's good up here. Just. We're going into that fall season, into the colder time, but as you said, the big story was the hurricane that passed through. So it's actually good to see that you still got your room intact and everything's still together. It's good that internet and all that's back.
Yeah.
So I had other family and friends down there too, so they're all safe. So it's good to see that a lot of people made it through.
Yes, I hear both of track stars and you, TJ, talk about up here because Smitty and I got on I got a T-shirt on and Smitty's he's ready to party.
He's hot.
Got your hoodie on.
It's hoodie season, baby.
It's hoodie season. Yes,
it's hoodie season.
So I know how that is. I'm still familiar. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Motegi, the sprint and MotoGP round because it's a lot. Before I express my thoughts, let's go with you, Smitty. Did you expect it the way it was supposed to happen? Did you see? Did you figure that Bagnaia was just gonna do what he do and come back and just step on people's chests?
Yeah, Pecco, he. Like I said a couple weeks ago, he's grown a lot. Previous Pecco would have a good lead and crash the race out, and then he's done. But he's matured, stepped it up, riding smart, and just, riding his race. So 10 points, championship to gap, he's behind, and it's going to be good. 10 points ain't much in GP.
No doubt. For you, track stars, did Jorge Martin do enough?
Oh man, with Martin, man, I mean every week we really not sure what we're gonna get, and that goes for both of them. You really don't know because this season's been almost like one of those amazing fights where they hitting each other and you're just waiting for a knockout, but it doesn't necessarily happen, and you're kind of guessing who's really gonna win the round. Because they both made mistakes, but Pecco is definitely the strong mind, and Martin is the rider off of talent. If it was just based off talent, I would say Martin would have been a 2-time champion. And not Pecco, but this is a mind and matter game, and Pecco is definitely the strongest mind in MotoGP. What he was able to do just proves that every time he consistently keeps that bike up and tries not to crash. And Martin just takes a lot more risks. And it shows, to lose a 46-point lead in just a few races. If the tables were other way around, I don't think Martin would have gotten an opportunity to come back.
Right.
But fortunately, Martin was ahead. So we just waiting now until the next round.
Man, TJ, do you believe that Martin, I can't believe track stars are saying this. You think Martin is a better talent than Pecco?
Talent. I can't say that yet. I mean, when it comes to being a better talent, you got to prove it first. So, I mean, the end result is getting that title. So,
I mean, because
I mean-
Pecco. Not to cut you off. I mean to cut you off, but Pecco got the world title in Moto 2, and Martin got it in Moto 3. And it's a lot for track stars to say that with talent. But yeah, so again, is it just straight talent and just Pecco just got more organization around him that's helping him do what he's doing?
You know what though? Go ahead, TJ.
No, I was saying there's others that's mixed in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't talk about Pedro Acosta, who was leading this sprint race.
Right.
But he ended up crashing out.
Nah.
So
Come on, you can't mention that name.
What do you mean? I mean, he was when he can interfere. Like you said, he ain't afraid to run up front.
Okay.
So
that's I forget you a Marquez fan. I forget.
No.
Smitty, you were saying something.
Yeah, I see what Jose is saying. How Martin's more talented, but Pecco's smarter. For me, the sprint races do show that, because the sprints, I think Martin does better in sprints. Because sprint is just, you go, my talent would shine. Because sprints, you don't need strategy. You just race, go, that's it. And I think that's where Martin does shine in the sprints over Pecco.
Right.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
How many sprint races Martin's won and how many Pecco's won? I think the other thing that we forget is just, and I think we said this on the last show. Pecco's VR46, so he has 8 other riders on the grid with him that gonna help him get to the front one way or another. If I can't make it, you gonna make it. And if I have to choose between you and Martin, it's an easy choice because I can't. It's like a gang. VR46 is a squad. AGV, Dainese.
Right.
We a team no matter where we at. And not to say I'm going really against Pecco, but I love Martin's style. Like I I wish Martin came up on that VR46 team. It'd be
bananas.
It'd be crazy.
Right.
He has that personality. Martin has that charisma that he loves the camera. He was going crazy on Instagram 2 years ago. I don't know if you guys. He calmed that down for this season.
Oh, he had to.
He had 2 seasons on a row. You see him in his cabana with his shirt off, and it was a commercial. Everything he was doing. This year, he calmed all that down. He's like, I'm focusing on this. We got a different Martin right now. And if he was part of that VR46 team, this would have been the Martin we would have seen 2 years ago. And it would have been Pecco and Martin on the factory team.
Okay, fair point.
It would have been. I think Bastianini had something to say about that, but definitely Martin was partying, and my boy Morbidelli was partying, and he had to tone down the party as well. But I have to say, I didn't. When Martin got the bump to go to MotoGP, I didn't. Prior to that, guys were winning titles to come up to MotoGP generally. You know what I mean? And, he, even Pedro had a better Moto2 career than Martin had. Martin, Moto2 career, he got quick later on towards the end of the season. But he didn't have the same, he won Moto3 titles, so he didn't win a title in Moto2. And so just based on what happened before they got into MotoGP, I always kind of lead towards Pecco. But also you look at the sprint. The sprint is relatively new, so you also got to think like, well, if the sprint wasn't around, Martin might not have seen the success he's seeing right now as well, because in the main races he's not shining as much, and that was the reason why he didn't get the factory seat to begin with over Bastianini, right?
No. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Okay.
Remember, he can't. Remember how everything happened when Martin, right? Martin loses. I think he came in third place, right, in the championship. Because it was Pecco, Bastianini, Martin. That's how Bastianini gets the seat, right?
Right. No. In the year when
Pecco won his first championship,
it was Pecco against Quartararo that year.
Well, yeah, my fault. It was Pecco, Quartararo, Martin, I believe. That's how it finished. Then the following year, it's Pecco, Martin in second.
Correct.
And now this year, and then the sprint race was introduced in Jorge Martin's second year of competing for the championship. Right. And a lot of people were kind of against it. Remember, even Pecco and a lot of them felt like it's too many races. We shouldn't. But let me tell you, I think the sprint saved MotoGP, because now you watch MotoGP Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can't miss nothing.
Right. And Martin also did break like 11 bones too. So I'm not gonna say he was one.
That's so. Yeah, he damn near died. Yeah, that's it.
So I get, you know what I mean? Okay.
It definitely saved their points too.
Was it an exciting race for you guys to watch? I mean, the rain conditions more affected Moto 2 than the MotoGP, but was it exciting? Also, how do you feel about Acosta crashing out as much as he has been in the second half of the season versus the first half of the season? And we see that most of the KTM guys have been struggling anyway. So has it been as entertaining as you thought it would be? Because when Pecco gets out front, or Martin gets out front, or Lorenzo when they race, so these guys that can manage the time really well, you start to look at third and fourth place, or wherever the action is. That's where the cameras are. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? On those things?
I mean, but Pecco only won by about 2 seconds, right? It's not too big of a gap, Right. So the race wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was close enough, But like you said, in the back, the mid pack was more action going on there. But overall, still a good race, So
I think what keeps this MotoGP thing interesting is that we know that right now how things been. Pecco is as much a liability as Martin is. So we know that the pendulum keeps swinging back and forth, and that it's a fight till the end. I mean, we saw last week, not last week, the week before that, I think he crashed on one of the last laps. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's crazy. We don't know the best thing about MotoGP is that you cannot stop watching until it ends, because you don't know what's going to be the best lap, whether it's the beginning on the straight, how many riders are going to get taken out, or how many riders are going to crash out somewhere in the middle, or who's going to crash out at the very end. And more importantly, these passes that they're doing, there is no respect, there's no priority, it's I'm going for that win.
So they are relentless and reckless, right?
Yo, that's a fact. This is the best racing we've seen. Yes. What do you think, Smitty?
Listen, I agree. So I was talking direct before, saying that when I ride, I'm reckless. So that's kind of my little thing now, being reckless and relentless.
Racing. Triple R, baby.
Right. Triple R.
Yeah, these last couple of races, I mean, it's going to be it's chess now. Like I said before, I think Pecco he struggles a little bit when he's stuck in like 5th place or lower, where he knows he's like, all right, I got to get to the front. I think that's a weak point for him. And I also think it's a weak point when Martin is ahead every lap. You just feel like something's gonna give, like they're gonna catch him or something. So it's gonna be tough. I think where are we going to next? Phillip Island?
Yep.
Yes, Phillip Island.
Yeah. One of my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be, going into the track last year, this is where Martin chose a certain tire, and he led for the whole race. And
the last lap, right?
The last 2 or 3 laps, he lost it. Like 3-4 riders passed him, so it was a bad choice on him. But it's going to come down to it's just a chess match right now.
Right.
And it's definitely I don't know. I'm rooting for Martin, but it's hopefully he can hold it off.
Now,
but last year was good. That's when Zarco got his first win also, right? Last year at Phillip Island?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
What was that?
That
was good for Zarco,
was pretty dope. Speaking of other manufacturers, Ducati had 7 out of 8 bikes in the top 8. And I know Trackstars has a little bit of problem with having that many Ducatis on the grid. But if these Ducatis weren't on the grid, do you think it'd be less entertaining if they only had 4 Ducatis, because maybe so you would have Honda doing better and Yamaha doing better and KTM doing better, but would it be still as exciting?
Yeah.
Let me. I just want to correct something real quick. I don't have a problem with there being that many Ducatis on the grid. Let it all be Ducatis. My brother. Go ahead. My fault. I didn't want to. I had to clear that up.
All Ducatis, like MotoGP.
He's a Ducati guy,
right?
So what do you think though? I mean, with all the Ducatis on the grid doing what they did in the last round, KTM did a slightly better job because Bender was in 6th place and Miller in 10th place, and the only Aprilia was Elation 9th, but the rest of the guys. It's pretty much all Ducati.
That's the top riders, man. I think it's just really talented riders. I mean, they do have very nice setups, and obviously they've proven that. They share each other's data too. Like that's they can go off of 7 other riders' data.
That's a fact.
I don't know what's better, to do that or have contingency to go to other tracks to try to figure out what you can improve on. And especially if you got the world champ that's in a Ducati. I mean they don't. I'm sure they don't expect nothing else but to be top 10 on every bike. It does suck to see like 1 through 8 finish Ducati or like 1 KTM in the mix, but now it just leads to you got to figure out how to improve. It doesn't bother me.
Right. It is. I don't want to pick on Alex Marquez, but he is the only Ducati that's still struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Whether last round he collided with Mir and took Mir out. Do you guys feel like he's Marquez's brother? So we see it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, paying attention to the NBA, and people are saying, Bronny James, wouldn't be in the
I know
NBA
where you're going with this.
if it wasn't his,
you could just say it.
his dad. Is Alex Marquez? Should Alex Marquez be in MotoGP?
Hey, just say it. Alex Marquez looked phenomenal when his brother wasn't there.
Yeah, on a Ducati. Yeah.
He really looked like, he convinced his brother that this is the bike.
Yeah.
Stop messing with Honda. That Honda's going to kill you. I'm winning on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm competitive on this. Come over here. Let me show you. and he didn't steer him wrong. But what happens to the team when you know what I'm saying? What happens to your friends, right? When your big brother comes through, when your big brother, he gets all the attention because that's the big homie.
Right.
That's big bro. So what happens? They take the attention from you. There's a lot more focus on him. Yo, figure it out, Alex. We trying to win this championship.
Right.
And yo, if they keep swapping back and forth these points between Pecco and Martin, and people keep crashing, yo, Martin is Marquez is in the mix for the championship.
Right.
So what he just did with the helmet. I don't know if you saw a post that he just did of his new helmet, and he said that you color one eye and then you leave the other one uncolored, so you meet the expectation that you want. It's like a Japanese symbol on the Shoei helmet.
Okay, I see that one. Okay.
Yeah,
trying to turn into the Terminator.
What is he talking about? He talking about the other eye that's not filled out. That's his championship. He's waiting for that to meet that goal this year. He still thinks he has a shot, and Marc Marquez always does. So the attention off of Alex is what right now is you in the back burner, but we already know what's happening next year. Marquez goes to the factory,
Right.
and Alex is gonna stay in the team as the lead, and he's gonna show you what he's a champion in Moto 3, Moto 2, and all he needs is MotoGP, just like his big brother.
Right.
So don't think that Alex is not super talented. This guy's a monster.
So you don't believe like he's not feeling like Augusto Fernandez is feeling away with Pedro coming in. I think that's definitely knocked his confidence on the team.
Yeah.
Even though you don't think Alex is struggling a little bit with Mark taking all that attention. You just think it's
yo, you could tell, right? You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but you could tell like they real brothers. Like
they're close. Very close.
There's no competition between them. Alex could come in last, and he's the first motorcycle to pick his brother up. He waits for his brother to come and celebrate with him. Like they really love each other. Like they yo, brothers. These people like they sleep head to toe. You know what I'm saying? In bed, like they don't care. They're in a hotel room. Give us one bed, we good. We saving that money. Right. Like these are those kind of brothers. Like there's no competition between them. I want you to win.
Right.
But next year, everything changes, and trust me, yo. When Alex came into MotoGP, I thought that he was gonna be better than Mark.
Really?
Because,
I never thought that either.
I did. I thought that he would come and take over. Unfortunately, MotoGP is extremely difficult because of the type of bike they come from. You know that Triumph is nothing like the MotoGP bike. The MotoGP bike is a real spaceship, you know. So I think that took time, and you could tell, yo, Alex has the skill, and he doesn't he's not intimidated. None of these riders are. Right. So that's why you see him going for these cuts and these turns and taking riders out. Yo, the last time people respected people was when Rossi was in it. Once Rossi left, gloves off.
Right. And what are your thoughts, Smitty and TJ?
Go ahead, TJ.
I mean. So what was repeat that? What was the question?
Is Alex Marquez struggling because his brother's on the same team as him? Because he is the slowest Ducati, for lack of a better word.
I mean, like I said, like Alex, like you're saying, Alex has won also in MotoGP. Yeah. You know, there's a couple tracks that he's gotten a first place. So I don't think he's a terrible rider.
On the podium, like you said, he's won, but he's been on the podium. We have to.
Thought he won a race before at Aragon, but could be wrong. But
I think he might have been on the podium.
Not on the podium. Maybe, but I mean, like you said, like
pandemic year, he might have got
possibly
pandemic year. But I think he was on the podium.
I think that's part of what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, to having a older brother, especially like Mark, like I was comparing to, you know, being a better, you know, participant. Like there's a little shakeup when he comes into the same team. I mean, it probably affected him a little bit when the shine got on to Mark, and then took a little away from Alex. But I still think he can compete. He's a strong rider. The only bad thing is what happened with him and Pecco. He tried to like retaliate by saying, "Don't give me a bad name."
Right.
And then this incident just happened with him and Joan Mir, and it's just like maybe you do crash into people, or like there's some things you do have to work on.
Right.
But
you do see the dad in Marquez's
the dad's
box,
there all the time,
not in Alex Marquez's side.
Yeah, that is true too.
I'm just, I noticed, as a parent, I noticed like, yo, bro, do you ever go? Are you on Alex's side? you got the he does the thingy with jiggies, but it's like he's on Marquez's side. But I could be wrong.
You know what? You guys are all right.
I don't know what paddock his stand is in.
I mean, so granted, he's probably the 10th, well, the 8th, the last guy in the same bikes for the Ducatis, but he's not struggling. He's above some fast guys. He's above Quartararo. He's above Oliveira, Miller, Fernandez, Zarco. He's doing fine. He's just the last Ducati, but it don't mean he's struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So I think we expect, because the bike is so good, we expect more from all of them. But somebody got to be last. It don't mean he's doing bad. It's just he's the last. He's the last guy on a fast bike. That's it. So it's not a struggle really.
Okay.
I mean, he's been on
like I said,
it
because he's above some fast guys. So.
No
This is
doubt.
what his second year on the bike.
Sorry. Say it again.
This is second year on the bike.
Oh no, he's been in Moto.
No. This is
2020. He came into MotoGP.
No, Ducati.
Oh, he came in 2023. So your second year on the Ducati.
Yeah, second year.
So yeah, he has 5 podiums, 0 wins, and 1 pole, and 2 fastest laps.
That's still solid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't mean I'm a big fan of Taka Nakagami, but yeah, his record is definitely
Nah. See, he's way better than Taka Nakagami.
Yeah, no doubt.
Way better. I think that Alex is a force to be reckoned with. I don't know remember, I don't know all this stuff with the father. I think the father is equally for both of them. He's super happy for both of them. I think what gets televised is obviously when Marquez is in the lead and pushing for it. Obviously they're gonna show the father on that. I think the family is super tight. If there was any problems, we'd be seeing it because they would love to televise that type of thing. But since there's not, there's nothing really to show about that. But I think that family is super tight. They're like the Lonzo Ball family of MotoGP.
Okay.
Lonzo Ball, with LaMelo Ball and the other
D'Angelo
trying to come into the league. I think that family, D'Angelo, they all just root for each other and they really push each other to elevate each other to win. And the Marquez family's definitely done that. Almost like the Benders too. They're super close too,
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have family within racing. And that goes even for friendship, right? Like the VR46 family. That's the only way you continue to get to the front with others helping you. You cannot do it by yourself in MotoGP.
Okay. No doubt. I'm trying to think. Let's talk about Moto 2 before we get into the Australian round. What do you guys think of the race? What do you think of the 6 riders to go out there on slicks? Have you guys gone out there on slicks in mixed conditions before on the racetrack?
I missed that race, so what you got?
Well, Gonzalez won it. So the top 6 riders were on slicks, and everybody else went out there on reins, and it was like 2 different races. But
Got
Ayagura, who's leading the championship, was one of the riders that decided to go on slick. So they red flagged the race because of rain conditions, and then he was one of the riders to go out there and do it. And it sounds like like the six. Well, not sounds like the six guys that went out on slicks did the best. And shout out to Manuel Gonzalez, even though he lost a major sponsor after winning. And just based on how he was dressed, the Chinese company decided.
the bandana.
Yeah, so
I saw that. Yeah,
fire the rider. You know what I'm saying? We don't like what he did, and they kept the rider and fired the sponsor. So Smitty didn't catch it. What are your thoughts, track stars, and on that?
I think with Moto 2 is very similar to what we got going on in MotoGP, where the riders are really even out there. Everyone has a shot, at winning. And again, it's like we talk about, right? Got 8 Ducatis on the grid, So you when everyone's on the same thing, it kind of makes the best racing. And Moto 2 is another place where they don't really have any respect for each other.
Man.
They're gonna race no matter what the conditions are. You find your edge. And the tire choice that day, right? Really was the decisiveness. What did you go out on?
Yeah.
Were you on the, on the slicks? Were you on the reins? Did you have mediums? So Moto 2, the beauty of it is so many things, but the best thing about Moto 2 is how even the grid is. And everyone has some type of experience at that level. It's not just a rookie coming in and destroying the grid. Everyone's been there for quite some time, and they know each other. So it's something to watch. If you're not watching 2, please do.
Yeah, Moto 2 is definitely a show. Definitely a show. I mean, check this out. So they went through the whole weekend plan. There was no rain in the forecast. I mean, there might have been, but going into this race, they didn't think there was going to be rain. For some reason, like going into like third or fourth corner, it was just raining on the track. They had to red flag it. So like going into, switching tires, it was just a smart choice for those riders who stick to slicks, which I don't know what I would have done. I mean, when just like Martin, like you see rain, you're like, all right, I'm just going to put the slicks on. But somebody didn't check the radar.
Right.
But
the choice Ayagura made was obviously,
right.
a magnificent decision where he just shows like he just blew everyone out of the water. But it was a fun race. It was entertaining to watch for a fan because you could see the switch off because they got a pit and just seeing all the transactions and see if the teams can do it smoothly and the right decision, and it's just in the end a really good race.
Yeah. And I completely agree about the decisions on the tire choice. You look at Martin a few weeks ago now, deciding to pit, and that was a bad decision. And for Ayagura and those 5 other riders, those 5 other riders, if it rained more, it would have been saying what a horrible decision, right?
Right.
So it is the moment. I've raced in wet and slicks versus rain tires, and I remember the first time I did it. It was at first it was just kind of like, what's going to happen? But honestly, if rain is not falling and there's no standing water, like you want to be on slicks because until you do it, like you don't realize how much grip you have. You know what I mean? And I was able to, in guys that were generally faster than me in a couple of races, they were on rain tires and I was on slicks, and I was able to level the playing field because they couldn't run at the pace they would normally run, and I was able to come away with some wins on that. But it could have gone horribly wrong the other way around if it does rain as well. So but like slicks in the rain, if it's not raining or if it's just drizzling, like slicks in the rain is perfect. It's like you have so TJ could attest to this as far as Loudon. It's like people would tell you like certain turns are colder, and maybe even like Homestead on the cobblestone or marble stone or whatever the hell they got on the pavements there. It feels different when you roll over it, but the amount of grip you have is still pretty impressive. And to see those guys, I mean, they fell back in the beginning of the race. But a few laps into it, they started pushing forward and coming to the forefront. And here's a situation where Ayagura, who's leading the championship, kind of said, "Hey, it's win or nothing." Right? That's it. I'm going with everything. And here, and I think for people fighting for championships, it's hard to know when to play it safe versus just ride like you normally would race. You know what I'm saying? You'll just go out there and you're just trying to win. You're not necessarily thinking about the points. And sometimes you have to do that. You heard Pecco last year say it like, there's no team order and I want to win, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And, as a rider, you want that. But, for these 6 riders to get it right, like, Gonzalez hasn't won anything. Salek, Alcoba, Vanderberg, these guys, you know what I'm saying? Like if they were on wets, they would have been down in the pile. And for these, and they would have been down. And for these guys, a few of them might be enough confidence for them to change their career.
It's a Brad Binder risk.
Yeah.
Right. I also, let me say first, like you said, speaking from experience, I've never been on a set of rain tires, but I have been on TD tires, which have grooves, in like mixed conditions compared to slicks. Mm-hmm. I was scared for my life on slicks.
Yeah.
Like scared for my life, like. That bike was moving everywhere. I'm on my V4.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're on a 200 horsepower bike too. 600 is yeah. So
when we switched over to my TD to have grooves on them, it was so much more grip.
Right.
And it wasn't raining, but the track was kind of drying out. But I couldn't take the risk of riding with the slicks on because the bike was just, I did one lap and I'm like, I'm gonna die.
Right.
I brought the bike in, we switched them. Next session I went out, the track was kind of identical, but I had way more grip.
Right.
Just on the strength that where there was sitting water, the water's being dispersed out, so you can continue to have the grip. For those of you who are listening or watching and don't understand. So those grooves dissipate the water out the way, kind of like our tires on the street do for us when we're driving in the wet. But with the slicks, that water, you're like on ice every time you hit any type of sitting water. So I know that the tires were helping me. But then when you have people that can ride and have the heart to push in mixed conditions where there's dry and wet, forget about it. A slick with a confident, you cannot beat him.
Right, yeah.
Beat him because he's gonna push in those dry areas a way that you cannot do it with those rains because the tires need to kind of keep them cool and not eat them up where you completely lose the grip. So those people who had the heart to push that day on slicks that made the difference. So that I give a lot of respect. And I think that all these names that you mentioned that some of us might not know, right? Because they were up there in the grid.
Yeah.
They needed that confidence.
Yeah.
They needed that confidence to say, I pushed under mixed conditions. So we might see someone new at the next race because of the confidence they got from this past round.
No doubt.
Sure.
I completely agree. And speaking of the next round, what are your thoughts going into Australia? The Ducatis have fairly done well there from back in Andre
That's all I'm about
days.
to say.
I love Ducatis, man.
So,
Yeah.
what is it? Ducati 1 through 10, even though there's only 8 of them.
Yo.
But honestly though, look, Phillip Island is one of those tracks where it's a classic track, old school track, not all fancy stuff, but it's always good races. So at this track, you never know, man. A lot of things have happened here in the past. That's very surprising. Like I said, Zarco won his first race last year. So
it's a very high speed. It's a very high speed track, and it seems like most of the manufacturers do well because the races are generally close.
Yeah.
Remember, Zarco's on a different bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
he's gonna pretend that he's gonna think he can still do it. He's gonna maybe find out that the Honda can't. But
don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, man. All right.
I want to see Honda up there.
Don't make me go get my hat, man.
You know what? Honda needs to jump up in there to mix up this points a little bit, shake it up. Somebody.
I think Honda needs to remember its roots. I think it's it's been eating fine food for too long, and Honda need to get back to the roots of when it was just smashing people.
When Honda gets it together, oh man,
it'll be great.
You know who's going over there. You know who they're getting.
Who?
They're getting the engineer from.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
From Aprilia, I was with Suzuki.
Yeah.
He changed life for Suzuki, changed life for Aprilia, and now he's going over to Honda. So it's about to be crazy. And it's kind of unfortunate too for my boy Martin, who will be at Aprilia next year, because I think he went because he was there.
Okay.
Not no more.
But Rex, but you want to know Yamaha's going V4.
Yeah.
When is that going to be?
I think next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, there's a freeze. I think isn't there a freeze?
There's a freeze
on the motors or something.
There's a freeze, but I think Yamaha and Honda have contingencies that they might be able to get away with. Because remember, Quartararo and them have already tested the V4 engine already. So I don't know if they can't introduce it, but they've already been able to test it. So yeah. So
I mean, I hope y'all need something.
I know. It'll come back.
They just need more. We need more restrictions on the Ducatis to slow the Ducatis down.
Watch yourself.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
Don't start that.
I'm a Ducati guy, but
Yo, don't start that. Don't even start that. You see what happened to World Superbike? Right. Ruined the whole thing.
But they did, right? When they did restrict the wings when Dovizioso was there, right? They so they did restrict Ducati back, I think 19 or 18 or whatever. So they did have to couldn't use certain features then.
Listen, Ducati was the first with the ride height. Ducati was the first with the wing.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything.
They keep figuring it out every time to stay competitive. And now that they have the championships, they not gonna let up.
Yeah.
Honda, Yamaha is gonna have to. Aprilia is gonna have to figure something out on their own to get them to the front again. But I think that next year, unfortunately, with all these moving pieces of MotoGP, of changes and people coming here and people going there, damn, that was a tough hit for Aprilia to lose that engineer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a wrench right now in our conversation.
Okay.
If Marquez doesn't win the championship, next year on the Ducati, and the Honda is even gotten a little bit better.
He's going back.
He's going back.
Well, I
It's
we'll see what
possible.
happens. We'll see what happens for 25 because we'll see. I've already said I don't think he's going to win in 25. But anything is possible for 25. But I will say that Ducati, because of Volkswagen, Audi buying Ducati, their money got long, and their money could match. I wouldn't say match Honda's money, but they're probably the closest one to match Honda's money. When you look at all the other manufacturers, Aprilia can't match Honda's money. Yamaha, they might be able to, but really Ducati, Volkswagen, Audi, that brand behind them, and we see it with the tech. So I think that Honda is probably the first brand to kind of be able to. I mean, I think KTM too, but they got to spend that money. You know what I mean? But I think Honda has enough money that they can bring their brand back a lot quicker than the other ones.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yo, Yamaha is gonna get the V4. They gonna be competitive again, and remember that there's people who let's just say it. Valentino Rossi is still the ambassador for Yamaha.
He is.
Yes.
Okay. And VR46 been offered the Yamaha
He ain't going.
almost every year.
He ain't going.
Okay.
Maybe 20.
So if that V4 comes and it's competitive, guess what's gonna happen? VR46 will go Yamaha. Okay. Every team is looking for the edge. MotoGP will be hugely different in 2026. And even more so if they really go to that 800cc platform.
850.
That's gonna even out the playing field all across the board because everyone starts from point one, from level 1.
Right.
So that's gonna be crazy. But also, we as the consumers of motor, do we want that? No.
A lot of people don't like to see change like that. We don't want to go backwards.
Oh, you mean?
But we also can't go faster.
Oh, the 850. We don't want the 850cc. Is what you're saying?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I mean, just think about it for real. Even though, they're feeding us this from right now.
It's still gonna be moving though.
They're feeding us this from right now. How do you say it? The Yamaha R9, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They give us this bike. KTM gives us a A90, as their product of SuperBike. All these manufacturers right now are killing the big bikes. No more R1. We have it in the US. Euro is gone. They don't have the R1 anymore. So they're already kind of building us into this mentally as the consumers of motorcycles. We're taking the leader class away from you guys. And we're giving you this new technology. It's lower CCs, but maybe just as powerful. Or you just enjoy it just as much because you can handle it.
Right.
And it's going to happen on MotoGP, obviously, right? Because they're telling us that we're going to this smaller displacement. What they're doing with Moto America, they're trying to make the super sport product to be the premier class. It talks of that. So, do we really want that? I don't think so.
I disagree. I think some riders do. I think there are riders that are sitting here saying, their bikes are getting too fast for like Mugello and some of these tracks. To make it safe, and especially with the tech, I would say this also when they had the 800cc in MotoGP, Lorenzo had set some track times that guys are just now beating on a 800c, and he set it on an 800cc bike as well. So when we think of horsepower, it doesn't necessarily equate to how fast I get around the track. right? So
Sure.
it's because we see it on the small bikes. And they get around the track. Some of these guys get around the track. Some of these big bikes. So you don't necessarily need all the horsepower on tracks that has a lot of turns. If you got a few turns and a lot of straights, then obviously the horsepower makes a bigger difference. But we do see it. And I know I've heard, because I don't know exactly what they've done. I know in BSB this year they were doing things to slow down those the superbikes to kind of deal with it, make sure the superbikes are not faster than MotoGP bikes when the 850 comes out. So it'll be interesting to talk to riders in BSB on the superbikes to see, do they notice the difference between 24 and 23 on their bikes, because they're already starting to retard that power, for lack of a better word, in BSB. So they are. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a matter of, like you say, track stars, if they're going to eliminate the superbike class in Motor America, or they're just going to, add electronics like they're doing in the super sport class.
I think you're giving your opinion as far as a racer. You tell me if I'm wrong, guys. You're giving his opinion as a racer. Be the consumer. Be the watcher. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Nah, but hold on, Jose, check it out. But as a watcher, your eye really can't tell the difference. Okay, imagine let's say you do a 132 lap time on 1,000 bike, right? And now you do and now on a smaller bike, you're doing a 135. Your eye can't really see that difference, honestly.
Moto2 and MotoGP, they're like 3 or 4, depending on the track, like 3 or 4 seconds difference between the fastest guys.
Yeah, and your eye can't really tell that. It's just good racing. You want to see close racing.
5 engine.
Yeah.
No. We can't tell the difference. Yes, we can.
I can't.
When we watching this, when we watching the TV, and it takes 3 minutes for them to do the lap, and then MotoGP comes on and it takes 2. You're like, dang, that was fast. When you watch that monitor, and then and that thing is like, and it's at 200 miles an hour, and then you're watching Moto2 and it's 180, and they drafting by each other. You're like, what the hell is this? 4 wide through the turn, 4 wide. You're like, what are we watching?
I think Moto2 is as exciting as GP, if not more, actually.
Okay.
I think MotoGP is probably at its safest. I don't think they should get any faster. I don't disagree with them going any slower. I mean, every year in every track, there's always a new track record. When we go to Phillip Islands this weekend, most likely will be a track record.
Yeah.
The next track, there'll probably be the same thing. And it's probably going to continue every single year. I don't know if it's because Ducati has 8 bikes and they're just blowing everybody away with talent and their production, that they want to make everything an even playing field. I don't like Moto2 is really interesting. They have 675 or 765 cc's.
Yeah.
So to have 800, I think it'll be still entertaining. There'll probably be a lot more drafts. But I also think that for years to come, they can probably, I don't know the restrictions on this, but possibly they can develop it to get faster, to get closer to a 1,000.
Right.
But for the consumer, I want to see top speed, 300, whatever. But, it's a thin line right now. The sport is like changing a little bit.
Right. And they're changing the fuel.
I don't know.
And they're changing the fuel that you can use as well, right? So that's also a big part of it too. It's not just the bike; it's the fueling too. They're trying to get up more clean fuel than what's currently being used as well. So maybe
we do more races.
Liberty Media Group, I believe they're going to own at least 80% of MotoGP by the end of the 2024 season, and we see what's going on in Formula One. And Liberty Media Group owns Formula One. So I think MotoGP and Liberty and Formula One are going to be aligned with the fueling, especially, and just using clean fuel and stuff like that. And And racing is changing, as a whole, as far as straight gas to
Right.
where we are moving to now.
So what about the spec engine design, like Formula One? You think that'll work in GP? If everybody had the rules to have the same kind of engine?
That's Moto 2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but in GP, would it work, you think?
Moto 2 is the whole bike is one thing.
There's three
They have different
frame
suspensions.
manufacturers, but
Yeah, different frames.
Yeah, and suspension now. But pretty
So-
much engine is the same. Yeah.
So I think I don't know that it'll. I'm not sure that it'll be better. If you have one manufacturer in MotoGP like they do it in Moto 2, yeah, the racing will be crazy, and that'll be all bike, right? And also, yeah, because every team will figure out a way to tune it and do certain things, set up the bike, but it'll be crazy. But do I want to see that? No. I love to see my bike out there, and I love to compete against his bike out there and your bike, so I can say, yo, my bike is better. Even though we're nowhere near what MotoGP is on, but that's my bike. So they will have to freaking put, even though it's a Ducati, I want to see the Honda sticker on it. You know what I'm saying? I would want to see the BMW sticker on it. Like, I still want to be your manufacturer.
Right.
And that's why I'm excited for BMW to come back. We've lost too many bikes. How we lost?
Kawasaki, Suzuki.
Kawasaki, and lose Suzuki, and damn near lost KTM. We could have lost KTM. Luckily they still around. But I'm excited to get bikes back. And have that competitive camaraderie, because that's what makes us watch it. And I wish it went back to Moto 2 that way. I know it's a development thing to see who's the best rider before they come up to MotoGP, but I liked when Moto 2 was like that too.
Oh, when they were running Hondas?
Yeah.
So you look at what's going on in the WCR, the women's series, and you look at which they all run in R7s. Granted, they're a lot slower bikes, but you also see what's going on in Moto E, where they're all Ducatis. And you see it with the 8 Ducatis in MotoGP. When you see, Pecco massaging his tank, or Hey Martin, bending over next to his bike, they feel like that's their bike. Even though there's 6 or 7 other bikes on the grid with them, they feel that bike that they're on is theirs. I mean, it's the same way I feel when, on the R6. There's a lot of R6 on the grid, but when I'm beating somebody else, I think my R6 is the best in the world.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I think you still get that. You're still gonna, you and your machine, right? At the end of the day, that's at the end of the day. I don't care if it's car or bike or bicycle. It's you and your machine. When you do
it's
good,
baby.
It's like one unit.
Right, it feels good. Yeah, it's very symbiotic.
Would you be a Honda fan if Marquez was on the Ducati? Like he is now, would you still be a Honda? Like, you gotta remember that when we cheering for these bikes, right? We almost sometimes even forget who the pilot is, right? We say, "Oh, I'm a Ducati fan because Pecco's on the motorcycle. I'm a Yamaha fan because Rossi's on the bike." But you almost forget who the rider is, and you just mention the manufacturer.
Right.
I think now we're in a time where we're more repping the rider than the bike, but I think there's still that connection, right? Like, to me, when Rossi was on the Yamaha, I always wanted to see Rossi on a Ducati. Because Ducati was the bike that I liked.
Right.
But I cheered for Rossi because I was a fan of Rossi. When he came to Ducati, it was over. I said, I'm rooting Ducati. I was hyped because it was the team that I dreamed of creating. And now boom, he's there. And that really switched me to even when he went back to Yamaha, I'm like, damn, man. Like, I wish he just stayed on Ducati. But that made me even more of a Ducati fan than even now. You know what I'm saying? So again, what would you be? Are you more of the fan of the rider or the fan of the bike?
I'm both. Because for me, Honda, it started back with Nicky Hayden back in America. You know, he rode the Honda RC51, became a Honda fan then, and it stuck. Then they had Rossi, you know. Then Hayden went to Honda MotoGP and, you know, Marquez, so Pedrosa. So I'm a fan of both the riders and the manufacturer. So,
Right.
But you are still repping that hat.
Honda.
The hat you wear, Honda.
Right.
You see? How about you, Smith?
I mean,
TJ.
I mean, I grew up riding Suzuki's. You know, they ain't around no more in GP.
Oh God.
But you know, he said, "Oh God," you know, my '06 Gixxer 1000. You know,
Oh God.
yeah, it got some power. It did, you know, some manufacture that one that year, 2005.
Nah, they did.
But you know, I was bred on the track into the Yamaha. So I mean, I grew up liking Yamahas and Suzuki. So I'm a fan of Yamaha now. So
But
like I see
no rider brought you there, or you were just fan of the bike, so you went for the team.
Yeah, so I can say like when I started watching MotoGP, Suzuki was there. So Jawan Mir was a rider that I did like, and obviously he did get a championship, even though people want to talk smack about how many races he won and how many races that season. You know, it wasn't a full year. He still got the championship. But you know, it's that I rock his helmets and stuff like that. So when they left, this, you know, I do like Yamaha. Fabio is a really good rider. I'm not just chasing guys who winning championships, but I ride a Yamaha now on the track, and that's the bike that I try to root for also in MotoGP. But obviously they're going through a little struggle moment.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, can't jump to Ducati for me. I just like I don't own one. Never been on one. I just can't do it.
Yeah. I will say for me, I think it depends. For me, like I was bike first because I didn't follow MotoGP. I didn't follow racers.
Yeah,
so I didn't. I like my first bike was a Kawasaki ZX6R when I first got my license to ride. And so I was always like I saw the bikes. I didn't know about racing to even. So I think for people who are into bikes, you fall in love with whatever bike you see or around or whatever the case may be. And if you do follow the sport as far as racing, then you see who these riders are, and you may either gravitate to a rider that's riding the manufacturer you like, or you may gravitate to a rider that you like, and then you end up liking the manufacturer that they ride. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I say this about Marc Marquez leaving. I feel like if he doesn't win a world title on a Ducati, I think he damages his brand recognition with Honda a little bit, because I think if Marquez stayed with Honda for his whole career, there'll always be a Marc Marquez bike. You know, there'll always be a version of Marc Marquez. You know, the same way you see with Bayless, the same way you see with Fogarty, and these guys that are synonymous with certain brands. And I think, you know, he runs that risk of like, bro, you know, you could have stayed with, like Rossi is to Yamaha, Marc Marquez should be to Honda. But, you know, I think Marc Marquez may need to go back to Honda for that to happen, like Rossi had to with Yamaha.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Honda's different, right?
Okay.
So if you think of Yamaha, right, they released a Valentino Rossi edition bike. They released a Jorge Martin, my fault,
Lorenzo.
Jorge Lorenzo bike.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a Honda 93 bike.
Did they?
Tell me if I'm wrong. I think I remember Nicky Hayden edition Repsol.
Right.
I think there was a Nicky Hayden replica. Repsol bike. I'm not sure. I'm not a Honda guy like that.
Right. I'm not a Honda guy like that, but I assume, when the Repsol version was always referring to, the race brand.
Whoever was riding it.
Yeah, and I mean, but I get what you're saying. You're right. They haven't technically come out and said, hey, here's Mark Marquez. Here's a Mark Marquez.
Yeah, we haven't seen a
and so
right.
Repsol Honda in a while.
And that might be a
He should
downside
still
for
get
Honda, for not doing that, right? You know what I'm saying?
So
if he retires, I'm sure he'll get one.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying.
Rossi can't even get his race bikes.
I know.
Yo, listen to me. I'm about to go there.
Right.
So if we talk about manufacturers honoring their races, Honda's done it the worst. The worst.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I agree.
Suzuki even honored Johan Mir with a race replica version. And let me say, Johan Mir's Dainese gang. I hope you're rocking Dainese.
Nice.
AGV, baby, all day. I use track stars at the store near you, baby. Use track stars at the store near you. They'll take care of you. If you don't, get your Johan Mir championship helmet. But Honda's done it the worst.
Yeah.
Honda's done it the worst. I mean, even I don't know. I think if KTM sticks around, we're gonna start seeing KTM Superbikes in deliveries of the MotoGP as well.
Yeah, I think so.
I got some.
Go ahead.
I do know that speaking of Dainese, it is definitely saving Joan Mir's career because he chose to stick around with Honda for falling so much. Kept crashing. So obviously that suit definitely works.
Right.
But my question is, do you think the way Marc Marquez rides and his style of riding, and especially the development of Honda in the late years where nothing was working, that Ducati kind of saved his career? Because if he stuck with Honda, do you think that he would have continued following 16 rounds out of 20?
No, he would have gotten hurt.
What you said?
He would have gotten hurt more riding the Honda still.
So I think Ducati possibly saved his career. Obviously, it was his choice too, my opinion,
right,
to save his career by going to a different manufacturer. But obviously, I think his legacy was sort of tarnished. I think his legacy was sort of tarnished leaving Honda, but I think it will still forever be there because who he is.
Right. Well, again, like I said, we'll see. He has 8 titles, 6 with Honda. So I think that obviously he's his third most, got the most chips, right? So I think he would have been fine if he left Honda and retired. But you're right. If he stayed and raced, that might have been difficult. And again, it's only so many times you want to get chucked off a bike. It's one thing when it's on you. It's another thing.
It's still happening to Joan Mir right now. Right. It's still happening to most of the Honda riders. So
But I will say this. I think that he's ridden that bike. So he has he had input in making that bike the way it was as well. So, I mean, I do think that he's also responsible for how the bike is today as well. Because he, as a factory rider, you're testing parts all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he does have some, responsible in the way the bike has been badly built. You know what I'm saying? He could ride around anything. And it's like I have a buddy who, I think most things he can do really well for the first time. Like, you go hit a golf ball straight, even though his swing is ugly. I think Marc Marquez is one of these guys that he rode. The bike was probably bad even the year when he won the title. But because he's such a talented rider, he can ride around the mistakes. Sort of like what number 20's, Casey Stoner did with Ducati. Right, Casey Stoner was the only guy that could win a championship on that bike, versus where the Ducati is now. So I do think that he doesn't get any blame for the bike being bad, but he was part of the testing crew.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough. He built the bike, so
I mean, you the Honda guy. You're not gonna bring up. You're not gonna
Nah,
bring
I
up.
can't. Bring what?
I'm waiting for you.
No, but he's right. I mean, that bike was made for Marquez. Marquez developed it, built it around his frame, everything, and the bike became a bad bike. So he's right. I can't defend that, you know. So I
Hold
love
on.
Honda. What's up?
Who's the Honda tester?
Oh, Danny, right? But it was Danny back then also.
Danny Pedrosa.
Yeah,
Hell
he
yeah,
tested
It
it
was
a
it
little
was
bit.
it was
Yo.
it was Danny.
It was him.
Danny left to KTM.
No,
That's what happened.
they stopped.
Danny was
they,
for
yeah,
a
they stopped
while
listening
though.
to Danny because remember Danny couldn't get heat in the tire because of his weight for they
Yeah,
stopped
but
listening to
And then it
him
was
for
the English guy.
the
What's his
last
name
few
again?
years.
Brattle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bradley.
Stephen
Stephen
Brattle.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, Danny was a tester. He leaves to KTM, and then I even think he came back to Honda.
No. Once he left once he retired, he went straight to KTM and stayed with KTM.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
But
I forgot.
Danny, they weren't listening to Danny Pedrosa the last couple of years.
Yo,
Ignore the guy, right?
I think, at the end of the day, Danny had a major key in the development of that bike. There's been people who could ride the Honda.
Yeah.
But who's rating it the best, who's gotten the most championships with them? Obviously, Marquez.
Yeah.
No question. And kudos to him.
Right.
Him leaving Honda, after the Honda damn near killed him 2 seasons in a row, was the only reason he decided to leave them is because his brother was at Ducati, and obviously his brother's very
Against him.
competitive on the Ducati.
Right. I can't tell you anything, but the bike is good. that's what Alex was saying to his brother.
We can't forget that, So then he makes the move, and now we see Marquez super competitive on the Ducati, and if things keep going back and forth, like we said earlier, Marquez has a chance at a championship in 2025.
Okay.
But no one will give him more money than Honda. Trust me, it doesn't matter that he's part of this Audi group, and they everyone is dying to come to Ducati. And that we got some young guns coming up that they're on 1-year deals, and Ducati could snatch them up and get them competitive in no time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we know Ducati has 1 year with Mark Marquez before he goes back to Honda, because Honda's coming with a crazy V4.
A vengeance.
And so is Yamaha. So trust me, things are gonna be so crazy and different in 2 years, because it's not gonna be 2025. The problem is gonna be 2026. And we're gonna have a whole swapping of motorcycles and riders and developers again, all crazy. And then the following year, when we anticipate the 800cc bike coming, is gonna be even crazier.
Right.
Because then the whole thing, if that really happens, because I'm praying, God, please don't let it happen.
It's gonna happen. 850.
What's gonna happen?
They're gonna switch to AC.
It's time. I mean, what's 150 cc's, man? Come on. What's 149 cc's? Not much.
Hey, my niece got a bike outside that's 250 cc's, so that's pretty close. It's a Honda too.
Oh man. So speaking of Honda and slower bikes, World Superbike, Esther, Ikaluka Ono got on the podium.
Honda.
I'm very excited for him. I'm a big fan of his. I was a fan of his in Moto 2. I think he had a bum rap in MotoGP. But to see what they're doing on the Honda, him and Xavi Vier, this year is their top 8 bike so far.
Yeah. I mean, well, outside of Top Rack, just dominating as usual. Like you said, Bullock is doing great for a rookie. He won one, got second place twice. like you said, Honda finally got a podium this year, so that's big for Honda. You know what I'm saying? So it's good seeing that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Stuff,
Very
PJ.
Definitely big for Honda and Eco Lackawanna to get on the podium. It was definitely a very big moment for him. And Toprak, I mean, he got hurt, seriously hurt, and he's out for 2 rounds. But he's back just winning, and it's good to see Bulaga, the rookie, just chase after him. I mean, I know we didn't get into the sprint or the Super Pole yet, but
we can talk about it all for sure. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that there's something that Bulaga was lining up this whole weekend that he had it, and he's been on the podium every race this round.
Right. I will.
But I thought the fight was really good.
Yeah, I completely agree. As far as the fight being really good, I think that this year, I think for Ducati, I don't want to say it's a wash, but we talked about it last time with Alvaro. But I think next year, I think the Ducatis are gonna fight against Toprak much better than they have this year. I think towards the end of the season, we saw that Bulaga was able to win the sprint by a hair. And to keep the championship going and stuff like that, we see that Alvaro, could have passed Bulaga in race 2 and allow him to get the points, and so they're working well. But do you think that for BM, well, it sounds like it's only Toprak, I guess, whatever bike he's on, because the other BMW guys are still struggling a bit to get up to the top 3 positions. Is it a foregone conclusion that you think Toprak will win the championship with the few rounds that are left? I believe might be even 1 round left. And
he's going to win.
Are the Ducatis close enough to make it a fair fight next year?
Well, next year, being that they have a new bike, we don't know. New bikes can work great or not work at all. So I really can't call it next year. But for Toprak, I mean,
a new bike next year.
There's 1 round left.
No.
1 round left.
The V4R won't come out until 2026.
No.
Really?
Oh, so you don't think they're going to be on the new the double swing chassis next year?
I don't think it'll be available for the 2026 season. I don't think that's how it works.
No, I agree. I mean, it's homologated, so I don't know if they can. Yeah, I guess. So
you can't put it out in production until it's out in production.
Right. So you're saying they can't.
So we don't get the new V4R until 2026.
Okay.
So
we won't get it next year, 2025. We won't get it next year.
So they're going to run a 2024 bike next year then?
Exactly. The R will be the same R we're running now.
Gotcha. Okay.
I must say that Ducati, they've definitely stepped it up for the last couple races to be relevant, especially Álvaro Bautista and Bulaga to compete. I just think it's just a little bit too late. But I think they will probably have a really good, strong run, knowing that they got it figured out. As long as they don't add any more weight to Alvaro and all that stuff to shake things up. But I think they will probably enter really strong.
You're 100% right. This weight increase on Alvaro was super detrimental. Like, all this stuff that he was saying in the beginning of the season, that his neck and the pain that he was having, was just
that neck thing happened last year when he entered the GP race.
Yeah, he mentioned that then. Remember, he said that he wasn't. That was his shot to come back. Right. That was his shot to come back to MotoGP. The numbers didn't reflect that. Remember, even Toprak had his shot also at riding the MotoGP bike. He did horrible.
Right.
At least Toprak didn't come up with no excuses. He said, "Yo, I just wasn't wasn't ready for it. I didn't think it was gonna be that tough, but I know I can ride it. That's what Top Rack basically said. Meanwhile, Bautista said that he was in pain, that his neck was hurting. But then he comes back to World Superbike and he's destroying the grid,
Right.
and then no pain, right? And then now he's testing with the weight on, and now again he relates back to I'm having pain in my neck, and that's why my lap times are reflecting what they are, and Bullock is doing so good.
Right. Sound like excuses, basically.
No, it did to me too.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and he should have said it straight out the gate, this is too much weight. They put too much weight on this
Right.
bike, and I cannot ride it the way it is, and it's not fair. Because Redding is still struggling the way he was.
Yep.
So was everyone else. The only person giving me competition is the same person giving me competition today, and that's Top Rack.
Exactly.
Right.
And it put him at a disadvantage.
Super disadvantage. The only person who benefited was Top Rack.
Yeah, guaranteed title, essentially. Not to say he wouldn't have been there on the Ducati, on the BMW anyway. We don't know that, but definitely when you tie one person's hand behind their back by adding weight, we see guys that struggle changing brands in a year, much less adding 20 pounds. And, after he'd been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah. Top Rack doesn't beat Bautista, and neither does Bulaga without the weight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and he's proving that right now because he's still competitive with the 20 pounds on the motorcycle.
Right.
Like, come on, and if this year Bautista works his ass off, I mean, remember, Bautista is one of the older dudes on the grid too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's one of the older dudes on the grid. If he works his ass off, and he has nothing to prove, he already won his championships. He's Gucci. He can retire if he wants. But if he works his ass off next year, training to deal with these 20 pounds, he was third place, finishes third this year. Next year, he's coming for first place. He's coming for that.
He can gain 5 pounds, and then he can probably take some off the bike. That'll probably help him out too.
That too.
Because that's the other thing. It's not like it's putting 20 pounds on, but distributing it on the bike so it still makes sense, right? From a riding perspective, physics, everything. It's not like you can just add 20 pounds in one spot. They got to disperse that weight through the whole bike and keep that balance. So if it's off even a little bit, and again, he's the only one that had to have done that. So imagine, what. Now, I don't know how many riders would have signed up for it, but they probably should let other riders jump on that bike with the 20 pounds on them and see what they do, on the bike. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you've been used to riding a bike 20 pounds lighter, and now all of a sudden you gotta deal with that weight. And we saw the struggles, and it's good to see that he's coming around. But you're absolutely right. It killed his 2024 championship run. And
I don't know if you remember. They even when the year when he won the championship too, they took a ton of power off the bike.
I don't remember that.
The first year?
They detuned this bike.
Yeah.
They took power off of him because the bike was too fast. He was winning too many races. They even did it in Moto America too, to Josh Herman. They took power away from the bike because it was too fast. They did it this last year they did it this year to PJ also. Wow. On the bike, PJ Jacobson.
Right.
They had to. So this is, taking power away from the bike and adding weight is crazy.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I can't. It's interesting that because what Scott Redden said they did that. Because I remember when he said it, I didn't even think anything would happen, and the fact that
I knew it.
They made a limitation is just kind of like, how can one person say that? And again, now that the weight's added, none of y'all still can ride up to his level. So that's definitely unfortunate. So before we wrap up, do you guys is a foregone conclusion that that Top Rock is just going to win the championship this year?
Yeah, he's up by 50 points.
Yeah.
He's gonna win. You know, as long as he don't crash it away, he's gonna win.
There's 3 races in the round, but you know, how many points is that?
He got finished in the top.
So-
I guess 3 in each round or 4.
Top 5,
5, yeah.
It's in the bag. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna probably want to end it like first, second race.
Right, just crush him.
I mean, yeah, that's the only way. You will have to crash out of at least 2 races to really make it competitive for a third race. But I don't anticipate that happening.
No.
Even Josh Herman this year, he was smart enough not to sacrifice anything. There were 3 races at Coda, and he finished second all 3 races, and he was still risking because he was trying to win.
Right.
But he put that bike. He made sure that bike finished that race, and then at NJMP, he knew the race 1. All he had to do was finish.
Right.
And he did that, and then the second day, once the pressure was off, to the front and put that motorcycle in first place. So this what we gonna see with Top Rack 2. He's gonna secure that championship. He's not gonna risk that over anything. That's what he did all season. They had their shot when he was out damn near 2 weeks. He could have been out a third week. He made the decision not to mess around and come back early.
Right.
We know he's not 100%.
No, I don't think so.
Right. I got a question for y'all though.
All right.
Go ahead.
So know that manufacturer or riders switch manufacturers sometimes, so they have to get used to a different bike.
Okay.
I know Rexy has been on multiple bikes, but you, Smitty, and you, Trackstars, do you ever see yourself switching manufacturers?
No, not really. No, because I don't have a reason why. I just like Honda products, cars, bikes, so it's one of those things, man. Like how dudes like Jordan, how dudes like Nike sneakers and won't wear Reebok or Adidas. I'm the same way.
So if Mark Marquez won a championship on Ducati, you stick to Honda?
Yeah, for sure. Ride red, man.
That's good. And I see
I'm going to get a Ride Red tattoo one day. Watch, man.
I know Trackstar is all about Ducati, so.
Yeah, I love Ducati, man.
I can see you on a Yamaha.
I had a Yamaha. My first bike was a Yamaha R6. But being on Ducati, man, it's just something else. It's not just when you pull up anywhere on a Ducati, whether it's the track or the streets, you turn heads. Can nothing stand next to that bike and people not look?
They're like, what's that noise? What's that dry noise?
Nah. I mean, that's part of the je ne sais quoi,
It sounds like a can of marbles, man.
You get into it.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it.
but as bikes have been getting more exotic, especially European bikes like the BMW turns my head, like the Aprilia is turning my head. There's bikes that make me look now, Okay. I feel like I'm married to Ducati for sure, but there's things that you got to look at and say, yo, that is, you got to appreciate the beauty and that technology they're putting into these motorcycles. And it's interesting, fortunately, Ducati has treated me amazingly. Like not just giving me the product and the best product. I mean, Ducati has done some incredible things that they haven't done or sacrificed their brand for anything. They kind of stick to the script. But notice what Ducati has done. BMW introduced
tech.
Not only rider aids, introduced rider perks, turn-by-turn navigation. They introduced cruise control on their motorcycle, and we're talking about like 4 years ago.
Right.
Like 4 years ago, Ducati just started giving you turn by turn navigation this year
Right.
for
Ducati
coming
or
up. It's not even here yet. It's for next year. Cruise control is for next year. You could have gotten cruise control, I think, but it was like a added feature. You had to do some
Well,
crazy addition to
not on and not
um
on the multi
heated
stuff like that, but
grips.
not the super bike.
BMW introduced this like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Say it again.
okay.
No, I said on the super bike you couldn't get cruise control, but on like the multistradas, like I got on the multistrada, I got cruise control on my 2016. So like cruise control, heated grips was there, but on the super bike, like the features that
Yeah,
you're
yeah, that's what
talking
I'm talking
about,
about. Superbike.
the
Yeah.
super bike, they were not
So,
they were not
Okay.
there.
so all these features, Ducati's like, yo, listen, we gotta take this market by storm and just meet everybody where it's at. And guess what they did? They went from a single-sided swing arm to a dual-sided swing arm just to really give you everything apples to apples from other manufacturers.
Yeah.
So you can have no question that they're giving you everything you want, everything you're looking for.
Now,
Yo, Ducati, this is what they do. And even me as an ambassador, that's kind of what Ducati's done for me too. Just give me everything that I can ask for and tell me yes to everything I want to do. So it'd be hard for another manufacturer to bring me over.
so
You know, when I see what Jorge Martin did,
yeah, I'll say this.
that's just
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
I'm a Ducati guy. Like I've owned
Oh, we
all
know.
the bikes. I've owned 4 Ducatis, and they're the most. And I'm always gonna have Ducatis in the garage. I've raced Suzuki. I've raced Yamaha. I've raced KTM. And so I've had 3 KTMs. I've had 3 Yamahas, 1 Suzuki, and 4 Ducatis, 1 Aprilia, 1 Honda. And probably somewhere in between there. I'm always gonna have like I think for me,
You're gonna have 8 Ducatis on your grid.
Yeah, I'm always gonna have a Ducati on the grid. Well, I hope to because I've been trying to be cheap. In all honesty, that's why I raced the Yamaha and the KTM to stay away from the Duck as far as racing them from a cost perspective. But also, like I'm a big fan of motorcycling in general. And so being able to ride different bikes, like, you know, I have a single cylinder, I have a 4 cylinder, I have a twin, I've had a V4, I've never had a triple. So it's like, I want to get a triple. So I have 6 bikes, so I'm more like collecting them than necessarily just sticking to one brand. But I'm always going to have Ducatis in the garage for sure. They are my favorite bikes. You know what I mean? And, but I can't sit here and after having several Yamahas and running them, and it's personal preference. That's what it comes down to. It's like the Ducatis. It feels like an extension of me. But I've also been able to go fast on my Yamaha, win titles on my Yamaha. So I can't, and my KTM. So I can't like say they're bad bikes. My only complaint about the Yamaha, and they fixed in 2017, was the tank was just so big compared to like the Ducatis, and them reducing the tank I think is huge, because like the KTM tank is small, Ducati tank is small. But as far as it's just preference, you can go fast on all these bikes and have fun. But I'm always gonna have a Ducati. I don't know how many more Yamahas I'm going to buy. I don't know how many of these other bikes. I know how many more Ducatis I'm going to buy. So
I'm gonna get that new Yamaha. I'll tell you that.
I do know I'm buying more
Get that
Ducatis
P4.
and more Italian bikes, and maybe a British bike in there. But Yamaha and Honda. I might get a Honda VFR again because that's a really nice bike. But I think riding these, and again, like for me, I started riding later. So like going on different brands and stuff like that also just gave me more experience that I can talk about it and just the feel and stuff like that. So, I don't mind having a bunch of bikes, but I'm definitely a Ducati though.
Okay, gotcha.
So everyone's sticking with their guns.
Sticking with them, man.
You two guys are Ducati only and Honda only. I'll take what I can get. It's like I can get from point A to point B or race. I'm gonna jump on it. But
So with all the money in the world, You can have any bike, race any bike.
Yeah. What would it be?
But all bikes are the same price almost. So I'll probably get that new Triple R.
Nah.
Honestly,
No, yeah, no.
Nah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
it's close enough, man. That Triple R is $30,000.
If I had
How much is?
if I had all the money in the world, I'll probably have one of every bike.
No, I said all the money in the world and race. You're gonna race this
gotcha.
bike.
Yeah, I'll
Race
race a
one
Ducati.
bike?
Yeah. If for me, it would be a Ducati every day, all day. If all the money in the world, I'd race it. Like if I didn't have to worry about chucking the bike down the road and fixing it.
Nah, nothing. They're gonna fix your bike. They're gonna come out.
Yeah,
Do all you
yeah,
all you do is ride this bike.
yeah, Ducati.
What would it be?
Ducati for sure.
What would it
5A
be?
Triple R, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I would. I mean, I can only say what I've been on. I mean, I would love to ride.
No. What would you? I'm telling you, it's your
Your dream
dream.
bike,
It's
dream
your
bike.
world.
I mean,
Your dream.
of course, I'm gonna get the Des Medici, son.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's interesting because I think that today everybody we all say Ducati, but when Ducati struggled, not everyone. You know what I'm saying? So it's very. I think in the moment like Ducati has always been synonymous with racing, but the level of which their bikes are. I'd probably say even from the 1198, but definitely the V4 package on that bike has gone to like another level, and it's been the bike to you look at BSB outside of this year. Last year was the Ducatis that were running, and same thing outside of Gagne on the Yamaha. Ducatis have taken over the globe. In the last few years, and I've said it on the show many times. Like some people think like it's time for Ducati to take a seat back, but it's like this is still new for us. Yamaha and Honda has been the forefront from the '80s. Up until last 3 years outside of Stoner, Bayless, and some of these other guys in different classes.
For sure, it's been Honda and Yamaha for a long time. I think as far as the hype has always been the Ducati. Always, when that red shows up, you just affiliate the red with the money. You the Lamborghini, the Ferrari.
Oh, you're right.
It's always gonna be that.
The name is always. The name is always big, so
yeah,
you're right.
For sure.
So that's gonna be the goal ultimately, but now the goal really means it because they're the champs in Super Sport and in Superbike.
Right.
So now that their name also holds the weight, of their presence.
Right.
And I don't see that changing anytime soon because I don't think they're gonna let up.
I agree. They're gonna have to pry Honda, Yamaha, and all the other brands are gonna have to pry the status quo from Ducati, and they're not gonna let it go, and they're not gonna let it go easy. So it's gonna be it's one for years. You had a bike that felt like I would say it's I'm a big fan of Porsches. But Ducati is the Ferrari of bikes, from the beginning of time. So it already had that cliche with not cliche that name with it or that feeling with it. But now it is actually a bike you can ride every day and go fast on. And you don't have to get service as much and stuff like that. So now you get all that Ferrari. But now it's as reliable as a Porsche.
Right.
Yep. I love that. I love what you just said. The reputation of the Ferrari with the reliability of a Porsche. And I promise you, a lot of the bad reliability issues that Ducati gets is because of service. People try to buy the Ferrari and service it at the Honda dealership or in their friend's garage, as opposed to bringing it to Ferrari dealership or bringing it to that Ducati dealership.
Right.
I've never had an issue with my motorcycle. Why? Because I never service it anywhere but at Ducati.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I tell
Honda's
people all the time, you cannot service your Ducati at your Honda dealership or at your friend's garage. You
Right.
must bring it to a Ducati authorized service department or where they have a Ducati master technician.
Yep.
Why?
that's
Because
that's
these
too much for
people
some
see
riders.
these bikes consistently. They recognize the problem before it happens. So my 2020 bike, the Ducati guys, when I got it, they already knew that there was a problem with the O2 sensor, and they were like, "Oh, we wanna swap out your O2 sensor," and I'm like, "Nah, it should be good. I'm
Right.
not gonna. It's not gonna be an issue." Like, no. Let's swap it out before we're gonna place an order for it. I'm like, nah, I'm taking it. I took my bike, I went to the track, and I had the problem with the O2 sensor.
Oh man.
And he told me you could ride the bike. It's not gonna reflect the correct gear on the dash, and it's gonna light up. You're gonna see lights, but the bike is fine. Just keep riding it.
Okay.
Yo, no lies. That's what happened. Um, so had I brought the bike to my friend because I don't want to bring it to a mechanic, he would have told me, "Hey, your engine's blowing up." I told you. Yo, the O2 sensor was there. As soon as I got to the dealer, they swapped the O2 sensor. I was back on the track.
It's good. Okay.
But this is only no knowledge because it's the Ducati dealership. They know what's gonna happen with these motorcycles before it happens because they have already seen the last year's model and they know what things are in common with the other. Yo, we can't even use the same tools that Yamaha riders use because Ducati does it a certain way.
Right.
Right.
Y'all making
Yo,
your lives more expensive that way. I'm sorry.
Yo, no,
That's
I'm
like
not lying to you.
no,
You're 100% right.
Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki can go to the same dealership that Ducati can't.
Yeah. But you have to understand one thing, TJ. You will never, and you haven't ridden a Ducati yet, so you won't get this, but you will never get the same feeling on a Ducati.
I'm not hating on it at all.
Get from any other bike. No other bike is going to give you the same feeling as a Ducati. And like I said, I've ridden a lot of brands, and that's what's priceless. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
At the end of the day, that's what's priceless. Like when you jump on one of these bikes, and again, it's like, if you've ridden a Porsche or driven a Porsche or I've never been in a Ferrari, one of these exotic cars. It's just, when people who design motorcycles and certain cars. It's almost like its own entity. It's almost like it's living on its own, and you just kind of y'all are working in tandem. And it's such a weird. It's such a hard thing to describe because like when I'm on my Ducati, even my Multistrada, like whatever I think, those bikes they just do it. I don't have to. It feels effortless.
Well, tell them why. Tell them why.
I'll try one day.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. You know what? Let's go back in the days. Let's go to cars because all of us drive cars.
Yeah.
All of us drive cars. Everyone listening drives a car, knows someone who drives a car. Back in the days, you would buy the Honda, right? Or the
Toyota, yeah. Mm-hmm.
or the Toyota, and the first thing you go, right? Yeah, I gotta get wheels. So you go buy the rims for the car, and then you're like, okay, now I need the music for the car, right? So then you buy some speakers for the car,
Right.
and then you see that yeah, I gotta buy the HIDs now. So now you buy the HIDs,
right? It's the Laura Springs,
And then you need to, that's the last thing you do, right? Get suspension, right? Because that's mad money, and you're changing everything. But you need to get the wheels first, then you get the system, then you get the HIDs, and then you drop it,
Right.
right? And what happened? Like now you riding this car for 2-3 years, you getting your money up, you got a new job, and now you say, "Yo, time to get that Benz, time to get that Beamer." And what you have to do with the Beamer? Just buy it. It didn't need the rims because they had the big rims on it already. It
I
didn't
see
need
what
that.
he's saying.
It didn't need
Ducati's not that though, man.
It didn't need the HIDs because it already got it, and you didn't need to drop it because it was already on good suspension.
Right.
Ducati comes with all that shit already. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can bring those cars to a regular shop.
So does all bikes not
Nah.
come with that stuff. The new leader bikes.
Say it again?
They all come with that stuff now. The new leader bikes.
Nah. Nope. Yamaha don't come with Brembos. Now they do.
The new one does,
Remember?
yeah. The new one does.
BMW didn't come with Brembos before.
It does now.
And guess what? It ain't have no Olins, baby.
Hey, the Fireblade does though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Ducati gives you everything you need to experience. It's a one of a kind experience. It's and similar to some of these supercars and exotic sports cars, and that's what you're paying for.
Yeah, because we had it already.
I guess, man.
Oh man, we can go, but let's shout out the sponsors, man, and wrap this thing up. Man, this was good. Let's start with you, Smitty.
I mean, my first sponsor myself, Smith Shot Racing. Find me on YouTube and Instagram, Smith_Shot_Racing. That's it, man. No sponsors quite yet. Still working on them, so.
And again, thank you for listening to my loud ass, everybody. I love you guys. It's your boy Track Stars. Follow me on Instagram, TRAX_STARZ. Shout out to my sponsors, Dainese, Ducati New York, Warhorse NYC, AEM, HSBK, and if I missed anybody, shout outs to you too. Thank you for always supporting and showing love.
Yes, sir. Shout out to J&G Performance. Always servicing my motorcycles, street. J&G Performance, Woodcraft Technologies, Official Vortex, and Hideaway RV Rentals. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at 2 Wheels and Coffee. So it's the number 2 wheel _ coffee.
No doubt. Go to Workbench.
Oh, wait. One more. Did I say Dainese, by the way? Dainese in the back. Doesn't say that. I don't know if I got them. AGV. I just want to make sure that I shout them out.
But that suit is nice, though. I do like it, though.
You can shout them out twice, man. Definitely go to Workbench Tech for your latest any IT issues. Go to Workbench Tech, support at Workbench Tech. Go to B4evaKool.com. We got merch on the website. Go to the store and shout them out. HY Clothing, as always. And support the channel. We also have a giveaway we're doing. Giving away a Dainese custom gear, custom work suit. So go to the website and find out how you can get on and be one of the persons to possibly win a suit and keep it locked. And thanks to everyone for supporting, because they are some of us may disagree, but myself and Track Stars are not going to disagree on the Dainese suit. I'm a big fan. I've been rocking it since day one on racing, and I can't say enough of them. Do you guys have any final words before we get out of here on Australian Superbike? Who's going to win? Not Australian Superbike, sorry. MotoGP in the Australian round.
Philip Island, who's going to win? Yeah. I say Pecco again. I say Martin in the sprint, Pecco in the race.
I say Martin in both.
Okay.
Both. BOAF.
Both of them.
going on?
This is tough. This is a tough one. I don't think Martin's going. I think he'll probably win one of them, but I think we're going to see a new rider on the podium. But as far as winning, I think it's going to be Pecco is going to win the GP, and the sprint is going to be Martin.
Can't steal my answer.
I'm going to go with Marquez.
And that was your answer. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just.
Hey, it is what it is. Don't take it back.
And you know what that's going to do, though, right? That's going to put Pecco ahead by 2 points. If I can count right.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
No.
That's not going to happen.
2 points.
Marquez in the sprint and Pecco in the GP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Marquez. Which Marquez?
Yeah, in the sprint. He's
Which Marquez?
Be clear.
When I say Marquez, there's only one.
There's actually two out there.
I'm sorry.
He's talking about Alex.
And I am the youngest, and I do feel a way. But when you say Marquez, it's Marquez. When you're talking about Alex,
I get it.
You're gonna say Alex.
Who's that?
Huh? I get it.
Can't disrespect a Ducati rider like that.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting Alex Marquez, but you know what I'm saying? Like
it's just what we know him as. I know.
Listen, man. His brother got the factory seat, not him.
Right.
Facts.
Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, y'all all completely wrong. If Martin doesn't win these 2 races, man, I think we lost the championship for real.
Who lost?
It's that type of
Martin
pressure.
Or who? Ducati? Which one? Who lost it? If
Martin, you don't win him?
If Martin doesn't win these 2 races, he's done. We will lose the championship.
Yeah,
it's hard to sweep a weekend, but I feel you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's down.
Remember, VR46 is after him too, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that's why there's no letting him back in.
No, I think at this point, I think that it's for Pecco's to lose. But I think it was like that all year. So
no, how you gonna say it's for Pecco to lose? I think Pecco has
and he's down 10 points.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but it's still.
Martin is the underdog. He's not the over right now. He's not.
Okay.
We know that if Martin loses this weekend, doesn't put that bike on the podium both races and gets a good lead again, we talking about he does not have a shot. But if he loses even one race, the VR46 nation will not allow him back in. they rather Marquez come back. They cannot you know what it is for the guy who leaves Ducati to win the championship on the Ducati and leave to Aprilia? You know what that means for Ducati? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That means they made a huge mistake.
We might have to talk about that the next show. I'm still on the fence that they made a mistake. I think they let a bunch of really good riders go. It's
but never this young. Never this young. Yeah. Remember that.
It's like, when the Celtics let Joe Johnson and some of these guys go, you're like, we had him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think for Ducati, I mean, again, I don't know what the back end is like. I still don't understand why they signed Marc Marquez and let these essentially 3 riders go, because they let Bezzecchi, Martin, and Bastianini go.
Audi.
So
Marquez is the ambassador for Audi.
They better send me an R8, man. I'm waiting.
Okay. Really, fellas.
All right, guys.
I want to thank everyone for coming on. And we'll be back with more stuff. My name is Rex45.
Smitty.
Track Star.
Peace.
Peace.
Yo.
Peace.